Hello everyone, on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming. Today we have the joy of sharing the screen with Mabel Katz. If anyone doesn't know yet who Mabel Katz is, she is an author, public speaker, and internationally acclaimed seminar leader and world peace ambassador. Her topic of preference, the Ho'oponopono, ancient technique of the Ho'oponopono. Before starting with her and our conversation, I just want to remind you that if you want to help us reach as much people in the planet as possible, you can like, you can subscribe, you can share our content with anyone that you think that may benefit of what we're going to be talking here today. Now let's welcome Mabel Katz. Mabel, welcome to Mindalia. Once again, we have you with us. How are you doing today?
Very happy to be with you, Mirna, always.
I am also happy to be with you. We have a very interesting topic that we're going to be talking today. As always, we want to share information about Ho'oponopono and the zero frequency, which is this term that you've been talking about. But the title of our conversation today is Choose to Live at Zero Frequency in the New Era. So I would say that it is important that we start this conversation by clarifying, in case that people are joining us today for the first time, what would we be knowing as the new era and what zero frequency is. So the screen is all yours.
Thank you. So very important to realize that we are in a new era. It's a new paradigm. I mean, I think we've been preparing for this, but we weren't sure what was it that we were preparing for. And I think the time is now. Yes, if not now, when? Things are changing, and what we call normal, or what people are waiting, to go back to normal, it's not going to happen. So just, wake up. It's time to wake up, to realize that things have changed and adapt to the changes. And one of the things that will help you to adapt with the changes is to live in the present. Yes, not to engage so much, not to have so many opinions, not to judge. And again, be present. Many times, Mirna, people ask me a lot of questions. What are we going to do with this? And they are saying this, and what we are going to do with that. And I said, listen, not yet. Yes, let's stay in the present. When the time comes, mandatory, whatever. And if you don't, this happens or whatever, then we will have to, make some decisions. But let's live in the present. Let's live moment by moment. The other thing that I think it has a lot to do with this new era is that we have to walk in faith. It's very important for me, since January 20th here in US, I decided to just concentrate. That faith, is my north. Yes, it is what I'm, knowing that I'm protected, knowing that I will be at the right time, at the right place with the right people, and that only faith will save me. Yes. So I think that's part of the new era. Yes. Of really practicing trusting, really practicing letting go and trusting, not worrying so much, but living, in the present moment with whatever is really in front of you. And realizing that you are responsible, that you are creating, your life, and it depends on your choices, and it depends on your thoughts and the memories that are replaying in your subconscious mind. And if you are choosing to live a more conscious life, or you are going to allow your subconscious to keep choosing for you. So there are a lot of things that I think we've been preparing for, and now is the time. Now the time to apply it. So the idea is how you can be at peace no matter what is going on around you. And I think that right now is very important.
Okay, I think you just said something paramount. The idea of being at peace regardless of what's going on around you. If I dare, I would like to say that probably that era that we've been preparing for is the era in which we are in need of using a more abstract way of thinking. That faith that you talk about, it's probably not a faith towards a specific, let's say the word God, but the faith probably of that we are supported by a system, by a whole, that we're surrounded, that we're covered and hugged by something bigger than us. You can call it whatever you want, but something bigger than us, right?
Exactly. I'm talking about first faith in you. Believing in you. Yes, that's how I became a believer, and I do call it God, but you can call it whatever. But there is a more intelligent mind than ours, and one of the things is also to become more humble. Yes, to surrender, not to give up. I'm not saying give up. I'm saying surrender. Surrender to a part of you that knows better, so to a more intelligent mind than yours. So for me, that is the most important. And knowing that you are protected and you are not alone. Yes. So, and you said, the part of God, but also realizing we are not the only ones in the universe too. That's part of the whole disclosure now, and that's part of the knowing, and that's part of the awakening. Yeah, this spiritual awakening, that we are not alone, and realizing a lot of things that could be available to us that were kind of negated to us. Yes, technologies and a lot of things.
I love when you say surrendered. I'm a big fan of surrendered. And not long ago, we had a gentleman with us that he was actually talking about that. And he said, like, where are you surrendering from? It's not surrender like, oh, I'm a victim and I surrender. Or there's a way of surrendering and saying, you know what, do whatever you want for me, because I trust the fact that whatever your current may take me, it's going to be in my favor, right?
Yes, it's like when I say I hold God's hand, or I put God first. And again, God is not as you understand it in religion. It's a part of you. It's a part of you that created you, that knows you better than anybody else. It knows all your problems and it has all the solutions to your problems. But again, it's surrendering that intellect that thinks it knows. The part of us that is always talking, always having opinions and judgments and things like that it got us to create the world that we live on. And it wasn't working, and it's not going to work anymore. So, and it's definitely changed. And we have very important decisions to make right now.
I'm going to try and bring this in English, because I have the idea, but it's very hard for me to to find the proper words.
Express it in English.
I was thinking the other day about the capability that we have to evolve into this person that understands the world around us. The whole history of evolution is us understanding better and better our relationship with the whole system that we form part of. And then I thought, like, hey, but like my dog knows what to eat when it's sick. So it's kind of, are we closing a circle? Are we going back to that very nature of ourselves that knew everything? Like the birds, they know how far they need to travel in winter, and in what country, on what geographical area they're going to be stopping, because they know that the crabs are coming out of their eggs. Like, that's the intelligence that we are referring to, I guess. But it's something that it's inherent. It's like it's our real nature, right?
I think we went off track. Yes, we got deviated, or whatever you say it in English. So I think that we are going back to our essence. Yes. For example, one of the things is the possibility of living in a completely different frequency. Yes, you are choosing. Yes, and depends of your choices and your thinking in the moment and your reactions, you are in one frequency or another one. Yes, so it is like you are creating your own reality moment by moment. Yeah, and we know about the law of cause and effect. So it depends of your choices or your thinking. Things are changing for you. So I think we are going back to our essence, and I think we are going to the possibility even to communicate telepathically, or to know everything, or like I told you, connect with our real families that are not here, maybe on Earth, or they are not the family, what we call family here. Yes. our real families, connecting with technologies that can help us, to heal a lot of different illnesses and things like that. So it is being conscious of who we really are. Yes, and what are we doing here? And for me, it's very important. I'm always through zero frequency. I'm trying to do my best to connect people with their passion, for example, what your purpose. Yes, because if you are in purpose, if you are doing, what you are passionate about, actually, you will be able to live more in the present. You will not be so worried about what is going on around you. You will find all the resources that you need. Yeah. But because we are never again, in that zero state, yes, in that no time space or things like that, because of the worry, because of the thinking, because of our reactions to things, that is what makes it hard. And that's what actually is controlling you somehow, and definitely not allowing you to be present or to be at peace.
I love the fact that you say about us learning or developing the ability to use telepathy. And I kind of feel that what we need to learn is to accept that we communicate telepathically, because how many times have you
Open
been
up to the
thinking of me
possibility.
and I call you, or I've been thinking about you and you call me, or you get to feel how someone behind you is looking, staring at you. How we are so
Well, sometimes we have to trust ourselves. Yes. Sometimes people are telling you something, but you know what they are really telling you. Yes, or they want to tell you, and you have to trust your instincts too. Yes, and to trust that intuition of yours.
completely in agreement with you, but we've been taught not to.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. We women were taught that we were the weak ones or the crazy ones. How do you know that? I don't know. I just know it. And then you keep it to yourself. You don't share it because you are, because you are considered crazy.
You know that I have this feeling all the time about if only we could, as women, use, that instinct that I'm pretty sure that everyone that has children has gone through this, that you just know that your kid is cold. You just know that you need to go to their bedroom, and then you get there and the blanket is on the floor and the kid is just shaking because they're cold. If only we could use that towards choosing relationships.
I think we lose it. Yes, we lose it with time, and again, because we want to belong. We don't want to be point to, like
even laughed at,
different, crazy, you want to be normal. You want to be accepted,
just to fit in a world that doesn't believe. But we know there is something within us that knows that there's a world beyond what we can see. You talk about zero frequency, and I think it's worth it that we dedicate a moment to refresh the idea of the zero frequency for the people that may be joining us today.
Well, I think I have to start by refreshing them about Ho'oponopono. Yes, all my work it's based on Ho'oponopono, a very ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving that actually says there is nobody out there, it's you and your memories, your programs that show up in the monitor of your life. Yes, and if you don't like what shows up, you have two choices. You can keep talking to the monitor, but the monitor cannot do anything. So you can press the delete key. So that's how I define Ho'oponopono, the delete key. Also a philosophy of life. Yeah, it's a way of seeing problems in a different way. Knowing that everybody comes into your life, sorry, to show you what is it that you need to work on. Yeah, what is in you. Again, it doesn't make you guilty or sinner, or you're not a bad person, but being responsible can set you free. Yes, at least when I realized that, I thought, oh, I created it, I can change it. And I felt happy for the first time in my life. So that is Ho'oponopono. And I created zero frequency to be able to give people's experience, yes, of again, what's to live in the present moment? How is it that we really need to let go of things, that we are 100% responsible? So the things that help me to practice more Ho'oponopono, to let go more, to trust more. Yes. So that's why I created Zero Frequency. I've been doing trainings around the world for 10 years. And that was my idea. I said, okay, I gave you all the theoretical part of Ho'oponopono. Let's put it in practice. Let me show you how to practice it, how to include it in your day-to-day, and again, and how to live at zero more. Yeah.
It's beautiful. As I hear you, what I think is that in order to practice Ho'oponopono, you need to dare to practice self-observation. It's like it goes hand to hand. You can't practice Ho'oponopono and just focus the lens outside. And although it can be scary to find yourself the responsible for what's going on in your life, it is also a very it's a tool for empowerment, because it gives you all the power. It gives you the will.
I loved it, because otherwise I was upset at everybody. Right now I get upset. It's not like I don't get upset, but it goes faster. Yes, because I come back to me. Yeah. And what is it that I need to change, or what decisions I have to make? Because sometimes it's not because I'm responsible, so now I have to live with it. I always say, especially in relationships, yes, it's not like, oh, now I'm responsible and I have to stay, or I have to take the abuse, or this means I deserve this. No, I'm not saying that, because you get to a position where you say, I love myself. Now I'm going to respect myself more. This is not okay. I'm willing to take responsibility. I am the one I attracted it, but this is not okay anymore for me. And yes, you can leave. And yes, you can fire. And yes, you can do a lot of things, because you are going to put yourself first. Yes. And you are going to do what works for you. So don't misunderstand that, oh, this is my destiny. No, you are changing your destiny as you go, with the decisions that you make, moment by moment. And yes, Ho'oponopono is about moment by moment. So Zero Frequency can help you to be even more conscious, to make better conscious decisions.
I want to go to the practical, Mabel, because I really like that opportunity to put, like, let's dissect the zero frequency. Yes. How do I apply zero frequency, for example, in relationship conflicts? Because the way I see, I'm hearing you, and what I think is like, it's like the tangler. You can have a huge knot in your hair, but then you apply the conditioner and it goes away. Yeah. The hair is there, but it's untangled.
Well, always from the Ho'oponopono point of view, it is about, again, what is it in me that is attracting this? Yes. When you do that, you are less reactive and more proactive. One of the things that we need to realize is that we don't hear the same things, or we don't see or perceive the same things. And that's a big awareness, yes? So you want to be able to always speak from inspiration. Then you will have more opportunities to say the things that the other person can really hear. Yeah. Many times, if you are the observer, in the relationship problems, if you can take yourself out of the relationship or even observe somebody, usually both are right, because, again, different perceptions, different ways of seeing something. But we find the wrong moments to make our points, or to want to have the last word, or be right. Yeah. So Zero Frequency, it's about being more conscious of that, so that in that moment you choose to practice Ho'oponopono, to let go instead of reacting. Yes. Or asking, I said, how do I clean? How do I erase, in this moment? Yeah. So that you have more opportunities to come from inspiration than memories. Yeah. Something that we need to be aware is that we've been together before. That's why we are together in this lifetime. And this person is just playing a role in this show, in this play. So we have to realize that we all play roles for other people, and other people play roles for ourselves, yes? And we had agreements. Yes, because we came to make amends. We came to make to correct errors from other lifetimes. Most of our problems are from other lifetimes, and now we are here, so angry for something that is happening right now, but it has nothing to do with what is happening right now. It's just a memory playing. So when you have, like you said it, yeah, when you take the observer point of view, yes, when you can separate, when you don't identify with that, when you don't take things personal, yes, so you can actually then keep your mouth shut, yes, practice the Ho'oponopono or something. Only in that moment, consciously, say, maybe this is not the right time. We don't want to hurt each other or whatever. Let's go for a walk, or let's go hug a tree, or let's dance, or something, or you dance by yourself, or you go and hug the tree, and then you come back, with a completely different. And again, and I'm not saying that you have to work it out. Maybe work it out means I'm gonna respect myself, enough, or this is not working. Thank you for all the opportunity, but this is no. But you come from 100% responsibility, and you come from, hey, it's me. Yes, you don't come from the blaming, or you are the one that have to change, or things like that, and that will help you to heal for your next relationship too. Not only you can bring more harmony in your current relationship, you can actually bring a lot of peace and a completely different relationship that you attract in the future. Otherwise, you are going to repeat. Yes, because you didn't get it in the prior one. So now you have another chance, another relationship that it could be even in a relationship at work, with your boss or somebody else.
You're in a loop forever unless you do it. And you've said it several times already, but I want to repeat it because I think that we can't say enough the fact that this is responsibility not from guilt, but from love and acceptance and power, and say, you know what, I did it because I needed it at a certain point, but I'm ready to let it go.
Yes.
Mabel,
yes, I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to treat myself properly.
Kindly. Matilde Flor, she is watching us from Spain, and her question comes through to us through the YouTube chat. How can zero frequency help parents that are grieving? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. The most important thing is that you don't see yourself as a victim, that you accept we are different souls. And like I said, we are very attached. We are in this world, we are attached to everything and everybody, in our life. But actually, that was a soul that played that role for you. And there was a gift. There was a gift while he or she was alive. And there is a gift, even if you cannot see it right now, that he or she left. Yes. So we can choose to see ourselves as victims for the rest of our life, but that's not good for us, and it's not good for them. Yes. One of the things that you have to know is that they are not far. They didn't go that far as you think, and they are still with you. But it's very important that we cut the cords. The Hawaiians call it aka cords, yes? So that you cut, so this soul can really continue with his or her journey, and you can. But that doesn't mean that they are gone forever or that they are far from you. And that's one of the things that come with the new earth, with the new kind of life or the new world that we have in front of us as a possibility, that we can connect with the people that left, with the souls that left. Because again, we could connect telepathically, we could be sensitive, to their presence even, and things like that. So that is one of the changes that come. And please be sure that you let go. I always tell people, if you really, really love him or her, let him go. Again, give him the gift. Also, because you have to think that soul is in a better place now. We cannot be that selfish. No, please don't leave me. Yes. So again, even if they are about to leave, this plane, let's respect them. Let's give them the chance to leave if they have to go. Yeah, but knowing again that this is not it, that we are here temporarily, and this is not who we are.
Thank you, Mabel. We have a question from Peru, Fiorella Cárdenas. She is writing through the Facebook chat. The Ho'oponopono practice erases karma and transgenerational memories. What can you say to us about it?
Definitely everything is memories. Everything is memories. Even things that, again, you think, oh, it's a problem that I have with this person right now, or look what he did to me, or whatever, has nothing to do with that. It's a memory. So what is it in me, that this person is telling me? What is the memory that is playing in me, in my subconscious mind? You are not a sinner, you're not bad, or anything. And the most important is not to try to understand, not to try to analyze. Yes, we don't need big why. We have a part of us that knows already. We don't need to from the intellect. The intellect will never understand. One thing that is very important, not to judge ourselves and not to judge others. That is so important for the new world and the new era. Yes, that's one of the basic, and I'll tell you why. Because one of the most important premises right now, we need to unite. We need to be able to become a family, finally. We have to cooperate, and we have to support and help each other. Really, that's part of all the learning that we have to do in order to ascend right now. Yes, and that's what the possibility that we have, and especially for us that are a little bit more awakened maybe, or we think we are. We have to unite. We have to have a common front. Because that's our problem. We never unite. We never see ourselves as separate. We criticize ourselves. I mean, and that's what hurts us and hurts everybody.
That is a topic that I am very passionate about, and is how we focus more on our differences and forget the fact that even genetically speaking, we are almost 99% the same. So how do we apply zero frequency, Mabel, to the differences? To me thinking that my political party is better than yours, and to me thinking that my truth is bigger than yours, and my religion is the one that has all the truth.
Yeah.
How do I apply the zero frequency to just dissolve all that?
The more that you are at zero, the more possibilities that you have to perceive as God perceives. Not through memories, because we are always gonna see, we always have this filter. Yes, it's like we have to change lenses, somehow, and realize that, again, like I said before, the more that you can accept that not everybody sees the way you see. The other thing is that why in zero I stress so much on finding your passion, because if you realize what your talents are, you are going to definitely accept, admire, and respect other people because they have different talents than you. Yes? And that's when we are going to learn to live in community and help and support each other, because you can do things that I cannot do. Yes? And vice versa. So, so important that to live at zero, to be able, again, to have the possibility of seeing things in a completely different way.
It's lovely, and if I'm being happy, if I'm living my fullest, I don't even have time to check what anybody else is doing and how they are.
Yeah, I'm too busy having fun.
Exactly.
and making money, and and helping people, because usually your talent has to do with helping. Your talent has to do with changing people, supporting people, and things like that, always.
Your talent has to do probably with giving to the community, so the community so we can keep that flow of exchange with the world around us, Mabel.
Yeah, I always ask this question because it was an important question that somebody asked me. What would you do even if you don't get paid because you love it? So, but in the last zero frequency trainings that I did, I think it was in the brainstorming 2021 or something like that. Somebody actually asked me, oh, but that means I cannot make money. I said, no, that's the start point. That's your compass. Where do I go? Where do I look? Yeah. What do I have in my mind so that I can, be more clear and being able to spot it, to pay attention, yes, to be alert to the signs from the universe. I said, no, but we all did a lot of free things in the beginning, yes, and we all invested in our talents. Yes, I paid a lot of traveling, a lot of hotels, seminars, and things like that. Yes, I didn't even know I was preparing to do this. Really, I was preparing to be happy personally. Yes, but because of that, because I started letting go and trusting, life took me. But I was alert enough to recognize the signs. Yes. So that's the most important thing that you have to do. So what is it that you would do even if you don't get paid? It's not because you are going to do it for free for the rest of your life, but in the beginning, definitely because you love it. You say, how am I going to charge for this? No. And if they invite me and they don't pay me, I'll do it anyway. I love it. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Mabel. Let's bring the question that Asara Jasmine is giving us through the chat, the YouTube chat. She's in Spain. If I believe in the plan of my soul and that everything is written, how can I create something different? Don't you think that even our own thoughts are guided? Thank you, Asara. Big hug to you.
Thank you. It's a great question. We come with a plan. But like my teacher, Dr. Ihaliakala, would say, not even God knows what is going to happen. Why? Because we have free choice. So moment by moment, I always tell people, whatever happens in your life is perfect. But now depends on your reactions. Yes? So you have free choice. So God, the universe will put an opportunity, will bring it to you, but now depends on your reaction. Yes, it depends if you let go or not, if you surrender or not, if you are stuck with being right on having the last word, if you don't take responsibility and blame. I mean, the outcomes are different. Yes, so you are actually really 100% responsible for the outcomes because it depends on if you react or not react or the decisions that you make, and you have free choice. The thing is, Mirna, what happened to me, I realized in the very beginning when I started with the Ho'oponopono and I realized about the free choice, I actually told my teacher one day, and I said, who asked for free choice? I don't want it. Could I return it? I mean, free choice is what gets us in trouble.
A huge responsibility because you don't know better. Like we make our decisions from a very limited perspective. So
exactly, we think we know. We think we know what is right, what is just, what how other people should be behaving and this and that, and that keeps us stuck.
That is beautiful, beautiful, Mabel. I am very also passionate about the topic of free choice. Or let's put it differently. How wouldn't I surrender to a bigger intelligence if I know that the decisions I made are made with such a short and tiny and limited lens? I am only making decisions based on my experience or the things I've done before, but there's an infinite field of possibilities that I could not be observing as I make my decisions, right?
I tell people that this is the reason why we have to do Ho'oponopono 24/7. Okay, so that you have more possibilities of coming from inspiration, because when something happens, you have a couple of seconds to decide. Yes, so if you are doing Ho'oponopono 24/7, you have more possibilities of acting or speaking or making decisions from inspiration than from your intellect. Yeah, because this is gonna jump. Yes, immediately. Yeah, it's gonna react immediately. That's kind of even an addiction that we have. But if you are conscious, yes, if you are letting go, if you are taking those seconds, just to do in that moment, the cleaning, like we call it, the Ho'oponopono cleaning or something, or you said, God, you tell me what to say or what to do or what is right, yes, or you repeat, I let go and trust, in the moment that you are reacting with fear or whatever, yes, or you worry and it says, I let go and trust, you have more possibilities of in that second, for an idea to come, the ideal idea, the ideal solution, something that wow, yes, I would have never thought of that, or that you have even the possibility of that idea or that solution to come even from somebody else, in that moment, but because you turn on the light, yes, and when we turn on the light, it turns off for everybody. So that's kind of what we do, and that's very, very important. And again, it depends on that, the outcome, the results. I mean, if you don't like the results, there is something that you need to change, and it's not the event. Whatever happened is perfect. It's your reaction, your response to that. That is the problem.
I love the idea of letting the idea come to you, letting the idea flow your way, and it may be coming from someone else.
Be more spontaneous,
But
yes, not thinking so much.
Yes, we're very stubborn and we want the idea to be mine. I want to be the main character.
Or I need to know, I need to understand.
Yes.
Becoming a child again.
Be teachable, I read the other day.
Yeah, be open. Well, they said parachutes only work if they open, yes? And they said minds, same thing. If you don't open your mind, doesn't work.
I agree. Mabel, we are about to reach the end of our conversation. And I want to bring a couple more things to the table before we leave. The very, very tricky question about parenting. I would say that the ego is just beyond big when we're parenting. It's almost impossible for us to release that tension and feel that our children, like something different than, like, it's like we want our children to be X, Y, and Z, and we want them to grow in the way that we grew or better. And it's very hard to give them the freedom of being whomever they want to be. So, new era, parenting, zero frequency. Leave us with something brilliant, because I know you have it.
Yes, I'm actually working on creating right now something for parenting, because I do understand, and also because I want to bring the youth, I want to bring the children. This is one of my passions, really, to work with the youth and children.
I have your book. I gave it to my daughter.
but I'm gonna tell you, right now, what it comes to me is I need to do zero frequency, especially for parenting or for youth. Yes. Okay, I should write this down. Anyway, what I always tell parents, yes, we put that backpack, I'm perfect, I know, yes. And on top of that, our children, especially if they are little, they look at us because we are taller, they think, oh, they might know. When we actually, as children, know better. Yes. So I think we have a lot to learn from our kids. Instead of putting us the hat or the backpack, like I said before, of the perfect parents, or I know it all, or I know what is right, yes, and I'm going to tell you, instead of trying to put them in the box, please don't, because the box is gone and it's not working for sure anymore. We have to get out of the box, yes? So there is no way our kids will allow us now to program them like we were programmed, yes? And this is the friction somehow, yes? Because they are not gonna adapt to what we wanted to adapt, and especially now that things really are in front of us. So I would include them to find solutions, even if they are very little. I mean, we are wise when we are little, yes? We know, we really know. So I would sit down with them and I said, if you were the parent, what would you do? Or things like that. The other thing that I think is very, very important is, okay, listen to them, again, if you have a problem, ask them, because they might give you the amazing solutions to your problems, or you might realize it's not a problem after all. But also, I think it's very important that you allow them to be who they are. And it's not about rewards and punishments. It is about consequences, because we adults have consequences. Like we were talking before, it depends of the decision that I make, I change my destiny. Yes. So they have to know, since very little, that they have free choice, and that everything in their life is not because the mom is good or bad or nothing, or the world. It's them who they are creating, and they are deciding. So can you imagine if you are little and you already know that you have free choice and it depends on your choices? So for me, it would be very important to give choices to kids. I say, okay, if you do your homework, this happened. And if you don't do it, this happened. Both are right. And I will love you no matter what. Yes? But you know the consequence. So the kid already knows what's coming, and I don't have to get upset. I don't have to punish. I don't have to waste my energy, or anything like that, or feel guilty because I'm punishing them. Yes. So, hey, let's decide together what happens, and then again, it's a completely different, but that's what life is all about: consequences, free choice. Yeah. So I think it would make your life much easier as a parent, and that you don't have to be perfect, or show yourself vulnerable. Tell your kids you don't know, you are doing your best.
That is a big one, Mabel, a big one. Show vulnerability to our children.
Exactly.
Wow. Before we leave, let's bring Fiorella's question. She's writing from Peru through the Facebook chat. One more question, Mabel. My daughter, she's still not sure about what she's going to study for. I think she's graduating and going to the university. How can I help her connect to her true passion with her gift? Is there any tip or any advice that you could give me so I can help her find it?
Okay, so I love that, because every time that somebody asks me that, or especially if the youth ask me, I say, who said that she has to go to university? University were already, all programming and all school, and now more than ever. Yes. So I would say that at this age, we cannot know what we want to do for the rest of our lives. I think it's time to experience. Hey, try to do this, go volunteer on things that you think that you might like, help, get a job about it, and then decide. For example, one of the things that I always tell young adults, and I say, go and travel the world. Right now, I cannot advise that because of the confinement, but I mean, go and travel the world. And when you come back, you will know. You will not have to ask anybody. Now, how do you find your talent? And this is very important, being young or being an adult. What is it that you would do even if you don't get paid? What do you love? What is easy for you? What is, we all can notice in other people what they do that is easy, that it doesn't take any effort, that they do it good, or, or they do it effectively. So support them in doing what they love, but don't push them to go to university right away. They have to have some experiences and live, and then go because you love it. Yes. And it will be much easier than now putting, the pressure that you have to go and you have to get good grades and you have to pass. And everything that we learn there is not applicable. It's all theory. Then when you go to the real world is when you really, with the experience, yes, that you learn and you can do. The other thing is there are a lot of young people creating already their own business and making a lot of money or things, and being able to be financially independent. So please, let's get out of our box, yes, and let's try to motivate them to be themselves and to find something when they know who they are. and don't not put that much pressure, or like you have to have a title to be somebody. I'm not saying not to study, but go to study when you know who you are, when you are sure of what your passion is, and you do it because of that passion. So again, like I said before, it's gonna be much easier too.
That is beautiful, Mabel. We have reached the end of our conversation, and I wanted to tell you that we've been joined by people from Spain, from Bolivia, Peru, United States, España, among other countries.
I hope somebody spoke English.
Yeah, not us. What are you
and if they spoke English that they understood.
Exactly. We're doing this because we love the fact that we're sharing information, and we want
I
to
love
reach
it. No, I love it, and I love that there are a lot of Spanish people that speak English. And sometimes when I do my English, I tell them, I say, come over, even if you don't understand, you are in the energy, and you learn, you take some classes.
And it's a great way for us, if we have family members or friends that don't speak Spanish and we want to share the content with them,
Yes.
we can sit and say, okay, this is what Mabel Katz is saying. Why don't you sit here with me?
Yeah, maybe you want to watch this because sometimes you say, oh, but they don't speak Spanish. Okay. Well, here is the English with an accent, but with a lot of heart.
All our love. What do you leave us with, Mabel? How do you want to say goodbye to the people that was with us today?
Let go. Be happy. Don't worry so much. Live in the present. Realize we are in a new era. I mean, and accept it. Yeah, go with the flow. Adapt. Change is good. Change is good. Don't be afraid of uncertainty. I know there is a lot of uncertainty. I know that things show that we are going for wars or things, but we are creating our own reality. Not everybody's going the same place. We'll end up at the same place after all this. You understand what I mean? So what are you gonna choose? That's the most important.
Yes, what are you gonna choose when the reality splits in two? Mabel. I love that. Repeat that last thing that you said, because I think we didn't hear you. Moment by moment.
Yeah, the moment by moment, we just we are deciding, or preparing for where we are gonna end.
Lovely. It's time to say goodbye.